Hi guys, welcome to the channel of love. Okay, I've got a little story for you. I wasn't sure, well, I am sure that I should be sharing the story. I just wasn't sure when, and to be honest with you, it slipped my mind. A bit of a backstory to it. Okay, so there was a lady that opened up a shop in the arcade that I work within, a row of shops, okay? And, sorry, I've just got a message popped up. And I don't know this lady, and she's opened up a shop, and my daughter knows her son, and my colleague knows her. So I know her in like passing, as in to say hi, and I don't really know too much about her apart from what I've overheard. And it's a lot of drama. And my Emily said to me, Mum, bless that shop, because there's a lot of negativity like being directed towards it. And I said, okay. So as I've listened to bits and pieces that I've heard when my colleague's been talking to her, or when my daughter has been speaking about what she's heard, we will get there, okay? We're just going around the houses. It's quite dramatic, traumatic. Businesses have been lost, a lot of fighting over money, a lot of bitching on social media. This lady, well, the thing is, one moment she just got married, and then the next moment she's not with him anymore and she's with somebody else, and it's caused a big uproar and not a good situation really, a lot of slandering going on. So I've been listening to this, and it was only the other day when one of my daughter's friends said, look at this post that's been written about this new guy. And about, the post said something about meeting her when she was underage and he was older. So that rang alarm bells. I paid attention to that. I said, were these two like childhood sweethearts? Did they know each other when they were younger? And she was 15 and he was 19. And I said, I think, you know, this is a completely different kettle of fish now. I said, I think that's her true love. So since then, I've had this urge to go and talk to her and ask her if she'd like to have a session. And it was only today that I was outside her shop on my break, and the urge was strong. And I have a little mutter in my mind, you know, fucking hell, have I really got to go and do this? It's like, yes, Lucy, you've got to go in there and talk to her. So in I go. And I said to her, hey, I said, I need to talk to you. And a slight look of concern on her face. She's like, okay, what about? I said, I think I need to have a session with you. And she's like, a session in what? I said, I'm a spiritual advisor. I said, are you okay with tarot, oracle cards? And she said to me, yes, like a friend of hers is staying with her and she does tarot and oracle cards. I said, oh, awesome. I said, I would like to have a session. I said, I've just been guided to come in here and speak to you. And I said, and your partner? And she was like, oh. And I said, you two were like met when you were younger? And she said, yeah, he's my twin flame. I said, how do you know that word? And she said, I know about twin flames and the red cord. I said, oh. And we got into a bit more of a discussion about it. And, well, she said, he's been like a shit to me. She said, it hasn't been easy. And by the sounds of it, he was in a really toxic relationship, had turned to alcohol. His liver was giving up, out of work. And he wouldn't leave that situation. And then he did. And she's helped him out of it. And she said that he came to her and said, well, I'm your twin flame. So he had found out about the concept of, divine love. But she said to me, it's my friend who's told me all about divine feminine and divine masculines. And I was like, wow. Maybe I was just drawn in, to hear you tell me that. I'd kind of put it together, but they was already on it. So I just wanted to share that with you. They are living together. She left her husband and they're living in a little bed set, but they're planning on moving, and they're rebuilding. He's now working, and as soon as she started talking about him, she glowed. She was on a glow up. So just very interesting, and I just wanted to share that with you. Right, so let's actually have a look into some cards while we're here, because it's all well and good talking about this lovey-dovey stuff. And even better when you're out of the shit. But shall we have a look at the shit that we can get ourselves into, and then we have to get ourselves out of? Well, let's go to, instead of me going to the tarot cards, let's go to the Oracle of Shadows and Light, because it's been a lot to digest today. So going back to when she was telling me about how his behaviour has not been great, we did go on to discuss that they can break your heart, but also they're the ones that can heal it. But by far an easy journey. We have the Pink Lotus Fairy, which is interesting that I've drawn this card because I was staring at the bunny rabbit, like in meditation. It says a time for spirit. The Pink Lotus Fairy. I can feel the energy settling down. Okay. Oh, you're going to have a beautiful night's sleep, a restful sleep. The energy just feels at peace. All is well. Okay, about the Pink Lotus Fairy. I don't know where my glasses are. they're in the kitchen. Okay, let me go and get my glasses. But help it be a smoother reading. Okay. Coffee before bed? Always. About the pink lotus fairy. You may love your guilt-free rants, staying up too late. We're going to get an early night tonight. What is the time? Yes, that's early. 2240. If it's before midnight, that's early for me. Okay. You may love your guilt-free rants, staying up too late and happily behaving badly. But you're about to balance all that out with some very powerful new spiritual teachings and connections. You are to meet a wise one who seems very still, very slow, and very peaceful. She will be tranquil and serene and immersed in a path that until now has felt too slow or foreign for you. But this teacher, who is represented by the pink lotus fairy, will assist you in finding more of your soul's true wisdom. My belly rumbling. Well, what I'm taken to is the contrast to the very fast energy, and then we have a very slow energy as we, I suppose it's like doing a what's it called after you've done a workout? So you've got the warm-up, and then have you got the cool down? Yeah, we're on the cool down. Okay. Within this time of inner discovery, you will commit to disciplined new training in the mental realms, study and physical movement that is unfamiliar to you, all of which helps you to naturally choose thoughts that are empowering and enlivening, yet completely authentic and real. You will learn to be still and to listen to the beat of your heart without giving in to restlessness or to the critical voice inside or the cliches the ego loves to trip you up with. After you have learned more discipline through peaceful practice of meditation or exercise or mantras, you will nurture yourself more willingly, without guilt, and you will have returned to a place of tranquility, self-love and peace. You will bring into balance your own shadows and light. Don't worry, you will be happier and more peaceful, but you won't be boring. You never could be. This is a really nice energy. Because I said, okay, let's have a look at the bullshit. And it's like, let's not. Let's disconnect from it. I love it. Okay. The pink lotus fairy speaks. On your journey, on your quest, there are times when it is worth finding that very heavenly place within, where the soul of love resides. In this blissful state, this nirvana, you'll be nurturing some new, very enriching and exciting information and guidance will come to you. It would be very helpful for you to take up yoga, Pilates, or a physical exercise that has a spiritual practice attached to it in order to cultivate your inner peace and to receive these messages clearly. Soon a teacher, guide or mentor will enter your life. when you meet that person, know he is here to demonstrate ways for you to find your own path and to grow and evolve into the being you are meant to be. Go within, look deeply into your heart and find the love that overflows in its secret, quiet places. Your love is rich and warm and flowing still, and it is time for you to renew your connections to the source by the teachings you will be introduced to soon. When you patiently learn from a good teacher who is pure in intent, your powers of focus, telepathy, intuition and inner peace, no matter what the outer circumstances, will be greatly amplified. The divination message: spiritual quest, travel, calm, relaxed yoga pose, self-love and self-acceptance, third eye and crown chakra activation, chakra awakening, connection to all, crown chakra connected to the universe, receiving universal love messages, self-connected peacefully to the earth, peaceful flowing energy in the body, tranquil, sublime, spiritual moments of connection, blessings showering upon you due to correct relationships with body and soul. Okay, what was actually coming through then is the difference in my energy, and there's a difference when you can't see me or when I can't see me. I don't know, it feels more excited. Okay, let's bring it back to this nice soft energy. Okay, time to take a class, course or new study program. Time to welcome in a new teacher, either in the form of a physical being or perhaps a path that speaks to your heart at this time, or a spirit guide who resonates with you. Know that while this path and tranquil, easeful philosophy may seem out of character for you, it is a deep and true part of yourself that has long yearned for acknowledgement, fulfillment, and the nirvana that is on its way. So, as I did this morning, I felt drawn to read and choose today's topic to be regarding self-actualizing, and I feel we're going to be doing that a lot more. So I feel tomorrow morning we'll have a delve into the secret into the law of attraction and manifesting. Well, the topic's not decided yet. So I will catch up with you guys tomorrow morning. Shall we leave you with a motivational message? Let's leave us all with a motivational message, please. One for all and all for one. Musket hounds are always ready. One for all and all for one. Helping everybody. Get focused, okay. Get focused. Looks like the yin yang, look. Okay. To attract what I want, first, I get clear on what it is I desire. I envision it for a minute or more every day, feeling how it would feel to have this in my life. What I would do, how I'd react, and who I'd tell, I picture it all through my continual alignment with my desires. They begin to flow into my physical reality in divine timing. Can you guys read that? Because I don't think I'm distracted. I'm really sorry. Get focused. It is time to get funky. To attract what I want, I first get clear on what it is I desire. I envision it for a minute or more every day, feeling how it would feel to have this in my life, what I would do, how I'd react, and who I'd tell. I picture it all through my continual alignment with my desires. I picture it all, full stop, well it's an exclamation mark. Through my continual alignment with my desires, they begin to flow into my physical reality in divine timing. Guys, have yourself the sweetest of dreams. Get focused. Just like to tap the screen. Okay, I'll speak to you tomorrow. Until then, sleep well. Much love.